All right, well, Michael, we did talk in my book about, I use the phrase, I'm a collection agent, if you will, collection facility. This is just one of the things in a broader sense as to what the lawyer does for you. If you're an accident victim, you have an attorney. While you are in the process of recuperating, while you're going to the doctor, while you're getting better, the question is, what does the attorney do? And there's actually a lot of things that we lawyers do behind the scenes that, you may never know about. One of those, just to hit it right off the top, the collection process, we're collecting medical bills. We're collecting medical records. We're collecting documentation on the wages that you've lost. We are collecting information about witnesses and contacting witnesses. We're collecting photographs if we need to. We are getting scene photos where the accident occurred if there's a dispute as to what occurred. So there's a number of background things, and there's a number of damages things that we are collecting. Damages, we prove what your damages are, your losses, by sharing with the at-fault party's insurance carrier copies of the records, copies of the bills, copies of the documentation to show that you lost wages and you lost income. All of these things have to be proven for them. One of the insurance company adages is that if it's not documented, it doesn't exist. So on a few occasions, I've had conversations with insurance claims adjusters where they've told me those exact words, and I say, well, do I need to document the guy's alive? And the answer is yes, you do. You have to prove he was living. It's like a kind of like a sarcastic response, but I mean, it's just they assume nothing, so everything must be proven. The litany of things that goes on, though, beyond just simply waiting for the mail to come and opening it and putting it into the files, sometimes can be enormous. I've had more conversations with doctors and office managers and legal medical assistants and nurses than I can even begin to remember. And these are to correct things. Now, you say, well, what needs correcting? I had a doctor send me a report one time that, and I quote this, as a result of my medical care, the patient is getting progressively worse. And I looked at that and smiled and knew, of course, that this had to be a mistake. So I called the doctor, gently pointed that out to him, and of course, he and I both laughed, and he corrected it. Let's take this to the extreme. Let's suppose that I didn't catch that error and I didn't get it corrected, and we send it into the insurance company. And you say, well, okay, nobody's going to suggest that that really is the case. I mean, the insurance company couldn't be that literal, could they? The answer is probably not. But what ends up happening is if we don't settle the case, if we end up going to court, a lawyer for the insurance company, a lawyer for the defendant, the party at fault, is going to look at that, and they're going to be able to challenge the doctor on it and make the argument that the doctor's record keeping is sloppy, and therefore how do we know that the medical care is being given as it's being described? I mean, again, let's just take simple, silly little things. How many times, I wish I could have a nickel for every time I've had to correct a doctor's gender identification. We talk about Sally, it's a woman, and the doctor continuously refers to the doctor, as to Sally, as he and him and his. So these things are very, very problematic.